So I realised that I needed to bring some structure to the conversation around cyber. So I developed a conceptual framework for consideration of cyber security. And the framework consists of 4 parts, being self-defence, passive defence, active defence, and offence. Now, of course, unless you're in government, there's no point talking about offence because unless that is the exclusive domain of government, and if you're not in government, then that would be illegal. So for this conversation, we don't need to worry about offence. So we'll focus on that self-defence, passive defence, and active defence, and I'll step through all 3. Self-defence. This is where it starts. This is the responsibility of everyone. It's about culture. It's about awareness. This is where we think to ourselves, don't be that person who clicks on the link in the phishing email. A phishing email being an attack that induces a user to click on a link that's embedded in an email, and that releases malicious code or directs the user to a malicious website. This is don't be that person who finds the USB stick in the car park and plugs it into the control system for your industrial systems, which is how it is reported that Stuxnet got into that nuclear enrichment facility in Iran, in Natanz, some 11 or 12 years ago, if the open source reports are to be believed. Now, this is something, the reason this is so important is because it's fundamentally linked to the likes of social media. What are you posting on social media? Does that really need to go out there to the internet? How might a malicious threat actor take that information and, quite frankly, use it against you or your organisation? So we need to ask ourselves in this self-defence, what are you doing to keep yourself, your mates, your organisation and your family safe in cyberspace? Now, this was a big thing for the military during my time, and especially for the Army. So we had an experience a few years ago in an exercise, during a major field training exercise, where I was a brigade commander at the time. And the exercise was in Kaltana in South Australia, a military field training area. And I set up a team of 12 people in Toowoomba, some 1,500 kilometres away. And that team was monitoring social media activity inside the exercise area. And I've got to tell you, that team, just looking at social media activity geographically ring-fenced to the exercise area, they took less than 48 hours to completely unpack the exercised force. They were working for the red force, the enemy force, and they were monitoring activity of the blue force, the exercised force. Less than 48 hours to completely unpack it. Names of key individuals throughout the chain of command, unit nomenclature, unit locations through geotagged imagery posted to social media, and in some cases, unit intent. We're about to go and do this. A huge breach of operational security inside this training exercise. That team of 12 people generated something like 670 individual reports that led directly to actionable, targetable intelligence that put a blue force element in a particular place at a particular time so that the red force could target them. It was a massive wake-up call for the Army, and led to much of what we've done over the last 5 years to increase the capability of both the Army and of course more broadly the Australian Defence Force. I should say, fast forward 12 months, similar exercise, similar activity, and very pleased to report that there was a significant increase in the collective performance of the organisation. However, during that second exercise, someone still posted to social media a geotagged image, that's a photo with all of the GPS coordinates embedded in it, a geotagged image from the inside of a command post, and the image included the battle map, which of course is, this is where I am and this is where everyone else is. It always causes me to invoke that famous John Wayne quote that war is tough, it's tougher if you're stupid. So with self-defence, please join me in the war against stupidity and be thinking about how all of those, that culture, that awareness is as the baseline for the cybersecurity of your organisation.